Welcome back to Managing Asia. Since taking on the top job, Piyasvasti has steered Thai Airways through a revamp and tough cost-cutting measures. He was forced to step down on Monday. Thai Airways is 51% owned by the government, and you've been vocal saying that state ownership really impedes quick decision-making and gives management very little flexibility when it comes to executing strategy in the face of rising competition. What are you doing to reduce state ownership and scale back on government guarantees for loans?
Reduction in government stake below 50%, that is the decision which rests with the government. The previous government would like to see the shareholding of the government coming down to below 50% so that Thai Airways doesn't become a state enterprise and we will have a lot more flexibility in managing the company. But obviously there are concerns within the company. Some of the employees are concerned with the fact that we would not be a state enterprise. They are afraid that their benefits will go down. But if that is the wish of the government, it should tell me first so that I can talk to the employees, create understanding, because the opposition could come there. And also there is the issue of the general public, because it seems that in Thailand the word privatization is still a dirty word, and we had seen attempt by this government last year to reduce the shareholding of the finance ministry below 50% in Thai Airways and PTT, running into a lot of political opposition.
You know, being government-owned also has its benefits. You know, you get lower funding costs, you get implicit guarantees in the face of financial difficulties. Is there a percentage, is there an ideal percentage in government holding that would give you the best of both worlds?
49% is the figure which had been floating around.
So that's the ideal government percentage.
49% for the management, that will be very good, because it will free up the management from a lot of rules and regulations. It's not simply the one related to investment I was talking about, but there are many laws which have been issued in the past 10 or 20 years, which also cover state enterprise and makes work extremely difficult.
Regulations you have to go through is one thing. Because of steep losses last year, you and senior management decided to cut your annual pay.
Yes.
As part and parcel of the cost reduction plan. You've also cut allowances outside of basic salaries. What do you take into consideration when making these cuts to salaries and benefits?
We had made cuts in all areas, not simply the salary and benefits. The employees in the company did not face cut in salary. But in order to carry out a massive cost-cutting program, you have to start with the top, and that's why I cut my salary by 1 month this year. Then we looked at areas where the benefits were abnormally high. For example, overtime pay went up so much last year, so we asked every department to manage more carefully the overtime pay with a target to cut overtime pay by 17%. We looked at the holidays, the extra holidays. The problem with state enterprise is that whenever the government has an extra holiday, we also have that holiday. Whenever the private sector has a holiday, we also have that holiday. So I asked the employees, so let's not have a holiday on the plowing ceremony day. So that by itself, in just 1 day, saved us 43 million baht in overtime pay.
These cost cuts to salaries, benefits, obviously they've made a lot of your employees unhappy. They're upset. How much resistance have you faced, and how do you build that support within the organization?
Anything which affects the benefits of the employees need approval from the Labor Relations Committee, which is split half union members, half representatives of the employers. So all these measures had agreement with the labor union.
Has it been easy getting that approval?
We explained to them the situation. This is the situation of the company, and unless we improve efficiency, the company will not be able to survive in the long run.
And what did they say?
Obviously, they will prefer the company to be financially strong and sustainable, because they are the people who will be here for many more years.
Looking back, any mistakes you made that you've regretted?
I think we probably embarked on the cost-cutting measure a bit too late. We should have done it earlier because I didn't foresee that the flood would be coming. With high oil price, I think we made the start on the cost-cutting was a bit slow. So that was one thing, and maybe I probably spent too much time trying to get rid of some of the domestic routes a few years back, and that ran into a lot of political opposition, which had taken up too much of the management time. In a way, maybe it wasn't worth it.
And that was the outgoing president of Thai Airways, Piyasvasti. That's all we have for you today. Join us again next week for more on the challenges of managing Asia. I'm Christine Tan. Thanks for watching.